They haven't had a win here at home in the Champions League for 7 seasons. They haven't had a clean sheet in 24 matches. Okay, we are going to hear, though, some reaction from Liverpool and their team. We're going to start with the manager, Arne Slot, with Gabriel Clark.
Arne, you were disappointed, I know, on Saturday against Crystal Palace. So how do you sum up tonight?
No, again, disappointed because you lose, and that's what football is about. It's about winning. But for me, this was a different performance on the ball and off the ball than it was last Saturday. First half, I think we played quite well. We had a big chance to go 1-0 up, and in the counter-attack, I don't think he touched him with his leg. It was the hand that made it a penalty. Yeah, difficult circumstances to play in, by the way, not only for us.
Is the frustration that counter-attack felt a little bit like other chances you've given up this season? Maybe that there were some self-inflicted moments?
No, I don't know. It's difficult to compare situations from before. I think we controlled the counter-attack. Was a pass on the inside. Dominic was there to control it. He cut the ball inside. Dominic did nothing wrong. He felt a little flick in his face. He fell down. I think there is something. We are sometimes a bit outsmarted in situations like this, and I cannot blame Dom for the situation, but they make from a 20% penalty, maybe 100% penalty, and that is something what is very smart of them.
If theirs was a 100% penalty, well, what about the Liverpool penalty claim?
It wasn't a claim, the referee gave it.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a claim. And he was in pain. So I also saw that the player played the ball. So yeah, this is always such a difficult thing. The amount of times I've seen when a referee gives a penalty and then the VAR says afterwards, yeah, there's definitely contact. So he definitely hits him touch forward. Although he played the ball, there was contact. So I've seen VAR not interfering in moments like this. And I've also seen VAR's interfering in moments like this. So yeah, then it's just a bit unlucky. It wasn't a dive from Ibu. He got a hard kick on his foot. But the referee decided that it wasn't. Or the VAR decided, and the referee went with it. So then you have to accept that.
How far off the level of last season do you feel the team are?
For me, not so far. But yeah, we've lost now twice in a row. This is sometimes what the schedule can bring as well. Galatasaray away is not a simple game, not an easy game. It's the same like Palace, and now we play Chelsea away, so difficult games. But Palace, for example, was a game that we last season won with 1-0 when we didn't concede a set piece. Now we conceded twice, we lost 2-1. So the margins are small. The margins were very small last season, but then we weren't a lot of times on the right side of the score, and today again the margins were really small, but for the second time in a row in the wrong side.
Is that then saying you're not far from being the team you were last season? You feel you'll get back that authority and composure quickly?
Yeah, for me I saw a lot of things, like I said today, first half, the way we played, the way we controlled the game, the amount of times that we got our attackers in promising positions. But in the second half, that was much less. But I don't think the second half there was a lot of playing time. I only think their number 9. No, he doesn't wear the number 9, but their striker was 4 or 5 times on the floor. Substitutions, injuries. It was so difficult to get momentum in the game, and then he did that 8 minutes on, by the way, which was definitely not more than expected for me. And then he blew his whistle exactly after 8 minutes.
Is Florian Wirtz, you talk about sort of momentum and rhythm, is Florian Wirtz getting closer to that player you expect him to be?
Yeah, but the focus is always on the new signings, which is normal if you see the amount of money we've paid for certain players. But I think Florian today, especially the first half, was many times involved in dangerous situations that we created. And like I said before the game, we from the starting 11 there are maybe 3-4 positions different, and then I have to manage minutes as well, like you could see today. Hugo Ekitike going off, hopefully not in a bad way. Alisson going off. So yeah, that's why we do need to rotate a bit, and then it's also normal that that maybe everyone is not as adjusted to each other, not new players, but all the players adjusted to each other as you would like. But in the meantime, again, we've only lost one Champions League game and only lost one Premier League.
If I may just say, how is Alisson, by the way?
It's never positive if you go off like this. You can be sure that he's not playing on Sunday, and let's wait how long it's going to take. Saturday, sorry. But he's definitely not going to play on Saturday.
Thank you, Arne.
You're welcome.
So not good news on Alisson, and he talked at the end there about cohesion and players getting to kind of know each other a bit more familiar than new ones, but even he said, players who've been there before. So it's something we talked about at length, wasn't it, pre-match today, and it is apparent, isn't it, that at the moment they're still finding the best positions for the new players.
Yeah, exactly. The chemistry we've been talking about, he mentioned after the game, you still understand that because you got 2, 3, 4 players involved that they haven't been playing before, they need to adapt to the new team, and the new team have to adapt to them. One of the players that everyone is focused on is on Florian Wirtz. I think that today he was actually, I agree with him, the first 45 he was linked with the midfield, he was bringing the ball further forward, he was working, and maybe he's missing that last pass, that confidence that we saw last year. Right there, I mentioned that one to Daniel, that he thinks ahead of the game, and sometimes the players on the field, the teammate doesn't see what he's seeing, and he will arrive the point where just with the vision, with a glance, they will understand what is he want to do. That was a fantastic ball. It was well catch, but he's a player that we are going to enjoy. He's a special player, needs to adapt, but he will arrive the point where we're going to enjoy a fantastic player.
Yeah, it takes time, Clarence, doesn't it? This is a player who, impressed in the Champions League last season with Leverkusen with 6 goals and clearly has a lot of attributes that Liverpool will hope very soon are going to start to kind of come to the fore, and he will be linking with those teammates. They'll get used to him.
Yeah, time is definitely something that you need for these things, but sometimes also it just clicks. I've been playing sometimes with new teams. I remember when my Madrid times we had 8 new players and it just clicked immediately. Chemistry, we use the word chemistry because you don't control that, right? It can come or it can never come. I'm not worried, as I said before, about Arne Slot getting things back in place, about the compact team and the aggressiveness. We will see that because his teams always have shown that. The thing I believe that is more a thought is that it should not matter who plays to have certain aspects of the game. So I don't agree on that part so much, that it should not be able to, if you rotate, you still want to see your philosophy in place, right? New players and non-new players. Football, we understand it, and when you come in as a new big player, you would understand certain things. But on the other hand, it is still early in the season. He has shown his quality as a coach. I'm sure he gets it right very soon.
And we've said countless times, haven't we, this new league phase, you can, as PSG did last season, you can afford to drop some points, you can afford to lose a few games and still be in a position after Christmas to go on, and as they did, go all the way.
Yeah, it's many games to go, but I think that the main point is the performance tonight wasn't what we're used to seeing from this football club, and it's one of those things when it's one game or 2 games that they're conceding chances, but when it's a consistent theme, that's when you start to get concerned. The only positive is that it is early, so the manager will figure out what he believes to be his best team, and that will be the team he's going to focus on. I would say maybe 1 change every now and again, 2 changes, which is what we're used to seeing him do. I think tonight was probably a moment where he thought, okay, I can give certain players a game. We see Frimpong playing in the right wing position, Szoboszlai playing in the right back position, which was a little bit of a strange one for me, at least when I look at Frimpong maybe being brought in as a right back. And then when you look across the pitch, we talk about the positives of Wirtz. Yes, you can see that he is a bit low on confidence at the moment, and that will take time for him to build that. Maybe an international break a lot of the time does help players, kind of reevaluate the situation, and then it allows them to improve. But when you look at across the pitch today and you look at the performances of the players, they're going to know that they weren't good enough. They're going to know. They're going to know it doesn't matter what we think. As the players, which we all have been, you go home, you're on that flight home, 3.5 hours, 4-hour flight home, thinking to yourself, we were off it today.
Yeah, Danny, but don't you think that is the time to prove these kind of things. It's not the time right now that you won every single game of the season apart from the last one. You won the first one in Champions League. You arrive here to Galatasaray. You know that you're going to have an important game at the weekend and also an international break. It's a moment right now to give a go to, I want to try Frimpong there and Szoboszlai behind. I want to try Coates with Wirtz over there. Let's see if the chemistry works and not McAllister with Gravenberch. Right now is the moment, because later on the season, maybe you don't have that opportunity to do it.
Exactly. I think the strategy what we ask him about, he's implementing it. He's not saying it, but it's clearly that he has mentioned many times, I need to get players minutes, I need to manage minutes, I need to manage fitness. So he's definitely having a different approach from last year when he said, okay, these are my first 11, and until they actually, don't have any gas anymore, he goes.
Maybe tonight would have been, I'm not saying a question in selection, maybe a night would have been for Chiesa tonight. He's been one of Liverpool's best players coming off the bench, scoring goals, creating goals off the bench. Wasn't fit enough to play tonight, but you'd have probably, in my opinion, maybe he would have got a start tonight, given what he's done so far in the season. So I think when you look at the collective of the squad, we're seeing a consistent theme of late goals. Late goals after late goals after late goals, and it's like some point tonight I'm looking thinking, when's the goal coming? I'm seeing 90 minutes, I'm like, all right, there might be another goal. And tonight where we see, okay, the miracles that we've been seeing won't last. So you've got to figure out how to get yourselves in positions that it's not a consistent theme that you're scoring last minute goals in the last 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 10 minutes. It's too consistent. It needs to be the Liverpool we're used to seeing is a team that dominates. 2-3 goals clear. And that's not easy to do in professional football, so I'm not saying that's a given. You have to earn the right to do that. But tonight wasn't a night I don't think any of us would have expected.
Well, you asked the question earlier on, when was the last time they didn't score a goal? And it was that night against PSG when they were knocked out of the Champions League. And that was the same time they'd had 2 defeats in a week as they have this week. Let's hear then from Captain Virgil Van Dijk with Gabriel Clark.
Virgil, your manager said at the weekend Crystal Palace deserved to win. What about tonight? Did Galatasaray deserve to win?
Difficult to say at the moment. I think obviously they got the penalty, they got a couple opportunities basically through our mistakes in possession, losing the ball in unnecessary moments, a bit sloppy. But yeah, listen, you stand here with a loss, and that's obviously the frustrating part, especially after the terrible performance that we had over the weekend. Yeah, take us on the chin, and we have to recover quickly and be ready for Stamford Bridge.
How do you explain the sort of self-inflicted moments, the giving the ball away, the chances you are conceding?
It's a bit of both, I think we take the risk in possession, so obviously we try to find a spare man in the midfield, and that comes with a risk as well. And it happened many times in the first half, especially that we break through them and we go at the last line and then maybe have to do better there. But and moments as well that we make the wrong decisions and then they break on us and become dangerous. And yeah, that's a frustrating part. But losing is just, I don't want to curse here, but it's bad. And we want to improve quickly and we want to win games. And obviously we start the season fantastically with all the wins that we had. And now these 2 games losing obviously doesn't feel nice. But I've been in the game quite a long time, so it's all about just keep working and head down, and that's the main thing.
Yeah, you have new players, of course, and it takes, as the manager said, it takes players time to adapt to a new team. How close to the rhythm that you want, to having the authority that you had in games last season, are you?
I think we showed it already in many games already this season. We couldn't show it for 94 minutes, unfortunately, yet. But it's absolutely normal that you need time if you come to a new place, new team, new demands, new on and off the pitch. It's absolutely normal. And obviously nowadays you don't get the time from the outside world, so it's pretty, you have to be strong mentally and learn. So and everyone is obviously in their own world at times as well. But I'm very confident and I'm not worried that things will click anyway. But we have to keep working. We have to keep improving and keep going at it and stick together. That's what we always been doing. Definitely in my time at Liverpool, and we had a fantastic year last year. We had a good start in terms of the points tally this year. Many good moments during the games that we played so far, but obviously losing twice now in a row doesn't feel good, and that's what we have to improve.
No panic.
No, listen, obviously, like I said, I hate losing, and there shouldn't be panic, but there should be definitely improvement needed. But I think it was a big step up in terms of the willingness, the hard work that we put in from the weekend, but that was not really too difficult because in the weekend was just bad. But now we have to convert chances, don't get penalty away today, and don't make, stupid mistakes at times. And it's far too easy to say these things than to actually make it happen. But it's a process, and we have to keep going. Like I said as well, and like you mentioned, and new players coming in. It's not about the new players. We maybe the focus is a little bit too much on that at times, but it takes a bit of time as well. And we keep working, stick together, and on to the next one. That's the only thing we can focus on.
Thank you, Virgil.
Thank you very much.
See you.
On to the next one, and the next one, of course, will be tea time Saturday at Stamford Bridge to face Chelsea, who incidentally are the only other team who they've actually been to more times in European competition and failed to come away with a win. It's 3 times now they've faced Galatasaray here in Turkey in European competition and come away without the win. And Galatasaray tonight, you could see the way they celebrated that. It meant an awful lot, especially after their opening day defeat to this competition 5-1 to Frankfurt. So they will feel very buoyed by that and their season. Meanwhile, Liverpool, as you mentioned, they're going home on the plane tonight. They'll probably be going straight to the airport, and it's a quick turnaround, isn't it? You've got to very quickly get yourself into a different mindset, and that's really important after a game like this.
That's the beauty of sport, especially the beauty of football. You have to turn page fast because you have another opportunity to make things better very quickly. And the best teams know how to do that very, very quickly. Forget your bad moments, learn from them, assess them. And the speed of football always comes with it. Tomorrow they're assessing the game already, discussing what needs to be improved, and then it's about working.